Hello, my name's David. I'm an environment artist, and today I thought I'd just throw my thoughts out there about DLSS 5. People have been asking me what I thought of it as an artist in the games industry, and I think that it's a very emotive and hot topic right now, isn't it? People are getting very worked up about it, and it's an intensely interesting subject, isn't it? So before we get into it, I just want to thank channel members. Much appreciated for your support, and I'll see you over there in the private Discord server. Nice chat. So moving on with it, yeah, what do I think? In short, I think that it has got something to offer, potentially. I think that the way that NVIDIA have released this, they've done it too heavy-handedly and they've jumped the gun a little bit. I think that it is too strong. I think it is to some extent riding roughshod over the original artistic assets, and I think that if you were to just dial it back by about 60%, then I think that it is contributing something that's worthwhile to the image. I think as it is, I think that it's just like, whoa, it's too much. You know, it's too much of a deviation from the original artistic concept. I'm not on board with the blind dismissal of it. I think that there's a lot of jumping on bandwagons going on, and I think people need to perhaps just look at the artistic judgment, because as an artist myself, I can see a lot of improvements that it's doing. It's just doing too much. It's going a bit overboard on it, but I can see that there's certainly an improvement in many areas. You know, the definition, the lines in the characters' faces, I think that they're looking much more lived in as human beings. But it's just that they look like lived in human beings under lighting that is too harsh. And, you know, it being a screen space process at heart, this, isn't it? I think it seems to be adding in some light sources that aren't in the original footage there. I think it's this whole beautification filter thing has some merit to it, doesn't it? You know, it's a good point, and it is seeming to do a bit of beautifying, let's call it, that isn't in the original stuff. And so that's, you know, part of this, what I mean by, like, it's just going too far, it's too much. It's been done in a less than tasteful manner, let's say there. But, you know, let's not be blind to it. Let's just acknowledge that there are some big improvements going on in the definition of the faces as well at the same time. And so I think it boils down, for me, it's a matter of degree. And I think that it's just too much, and if you dialed it back, I think it has something to offer. But, you know, that entwines closely with this sort of question of artistic integrity, and to what extent is it kind of riding roughshod over the original artist's intent. So, and I think that it is making free with some of those assets that the original artist perhaps might be a bit uncomfortable with. And I mean, the studios have signed off with this, haven't they? Of all the games featured in this footage, all those studios have, like, you know, been happy to say, yep, we're happy with this vision of our games going forward. And frankly, I don't care what the studio say, what the studio director says, or what the publisher says. I want to know, what does that studio's lead lighting artist say? Because they're the ones that are more qualified than anybody to judge on this. They're the ones with the judgment and the skills and the knowledge that can be the most informative to comment on this sort of stuff. So, yeah, in short, my take is that I'm not going to blindly dismiss it, but it needs to be employed with caution and restraint and tasteful creativity. And, you know, that touches on the heart of this whole AI issue, doesn't it? Because I think that the whole AI question has got dubious ethical foundations in how it's been trained. I think that in these characters' faces, there's some dubious ethical issues in how they're, in quote, beautifying these images. You know, there's there's a very narrow view of what looks good in human faces going on here, I think, and that's all in the data sets that they're trained on, isn't it? And the whole thing of AI just riding roughshod over the whole planet is just, it's a bad situation, isn't it? Because everyone is terrified that their competitors are going to get a big edge on them if they don't go all in on AI usage. And around the globe, there's many employees that are being pressured to output more through use of AI. And one of the biggest problems of AI is that if you're asking it to do something that you are not skilled at yourself, that you're not skilled enough to know when it's getting it wrong. And let's take, for example, AI mesh generators, which I was tasked with evaluating some of these as part of my job in an effort to streamline production and increase output, and came away fairly disgusted by it, and I just hated the whole thing. But you know, in the context that I know, modeling, texturing, things like that, you know, unless you are experienced at modeling and texturing and you know about topology and edge flow and good UV mapping practices, you know, you can get a model out of some of these AI generators that initially looks good, but good luck if you're gonna start editing that and maybe retexturing it. You know, it's the topology that these things are outputting is generally awful, and it does not lend itself well to editing and reuse. And if you don't know about topology and UV mapping, then you know you're not in a great place. And so to me, that's the problem with AI. It puts you out on a limb. I think whatever you're employing AI to do, you should have a really good knowledge of that as a basis. So then you're qualified to know when the AI is getting it wrong, and it will get it wrong a lot. And the more specialized area that you're using it in, the more it will start to get it wrong in lots of little ways that you need knowledge and experience to pick up on. And my worry is that that sort of error is spreading everywhere right now. So I think AI is best left to medical research and mathematical research, things like that. I think that it has got so much potential for those sort of things. And if I had a choice, I would be quite happy to roll back the whole AI thing in terms of game development. I think having some great upscale technologies is not outweighing the impact on wider society that we're seeing. So that's my take on it, really. I think that it's complicated, isn't it? Like everything in life, it's complicated. There's some good, there's some bad, and we as humans can always be relied upon to employ tech irresponsibly because financial realities basically force companies to do it. And until we can get a handle on that, then we're going to have problems with things like this. So hope that was interesting, and I'll see you in another video. Take it easy. Bye.